I'm Colin O'Keefe, and this is LXPN TV. The FCC is about to make the rules governing telemarketing, both by phone and text, considerably more strict. Also, the penalties accompanying them are quite harsh. Joining me now to explain these new rules is friend of the program, Gerald Ferguson. He is national co-leader of BakerHostetler's privacy and data protection team, and he is also author on the firm's blog, the Data Privacy Monitor. Gerald, first, can you run us through the basics of these new phone and text marketing regulations? How big of a departure is this from the previous rules?
It really is a huge change, and even the FCC recognized it was a huge change because they announced these rule changes last year and basically have given industry a year to come into compliance. But amazing how time flies when we're having fun. That year to come into compliance expires October 16th this month. And what's really big about these changes is that under the old rules, a company could engage in telephone or text marketing to cell phones so long as it had a prior existing business relationship. So that means no, someone didn't even have to buy something from you. All they had to do was go on your website, express interest in your products, and you were free to start a telephone text marketing campaign. What the FCC has said is, hold on, we're still getting too many complaints about calls and text messages. We want to make it more difficult for businesses to demonstrate that a consumer is actually interested in receiving these calls. And so what the new rules say is that a business needs to have prior express written consent in order to engage in a marketing call to a cell phone or a text to a cell phone.
I see. So how stiff are the penalties on this? Is this something consumers are actually going to be able to fight behind, or will the legal process, like it is with other privacy issues, be somewhat burdensome?
The way the rules are set up, they're set up to tilt the odds in the consumer's favor. First, it's clear that the company has the burden of proving this actual consent. So the sort of practices that we're used to seeing on websites where consent is buried somewhere in the terms of use that's several clicks away, that's not going to work under these new rules. Even pre-check I consent boxes are going to be a problem under these new rules where you're trying to show a consumer actually consented. The penalties are what also create the incentives here, because the potential penalty is $500 to $1,500 per violation. And that depends on the degree of willfulness of the violation, where the existence of these penalties has already made the Telephone Consumer Protection Act very attractive to attorneys who bring class actions. It's helpful for them in that it helps them overcome the standing objections, which are often a good defense in these sort of cases. And because of the penalties are so high, the damages add up very quickly. There is some litigation, is because the potential penalty is so high, there's some litigation over whether classes should be certified, because an individual can actually be well compensated here. But just last week, a New Jersey federal court certified a class action under the Telephone Consumer Protection Act. And I think after October 16th, we got to be looking for more class actions like that for companies that aren't careful.
Absolutely. It's going to be a fascinating area to keep an eye on. I know I personally receive many of these phone calls and these texts from marketers, and I know I wouldn't mind having another $100 or so in my pocket on account of them. Once again, that was Gerald Ferguson of BakerHostetler. For more of his insight on this story and other issues in privacy and related topics, be sure to visit dataprivacymonitor.com. Thank you for joining me today, Jerry.
Thanks, Colin.